it's Izzy here, and today we are going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I think that is the whole name. I have never done this challenge for my 2 years on BookTube because I always just missed the date, but it is finally the halfway point of the year, so I will be doing a challenge this year. And at the end of this video, I am going to be unboxing a special package. This is the first book I've ever got sent by a publisher and the first time I've ever won a Goodreads giveaway, so that is very exciting and I cannot wait to open this. I've had a few days, but I wanted to open it on video, so we will do that at the very end of this video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Roses, their debut album, I think it's one of the best-selling albums of all time. The first question is, what is the best book that you've read so far in 2019? And for me, that is, I'm going to list 3 because they're all very different and I've liked them for different reasons. So, South Abroad by Pat Conroy, which is, it was listed as contemporary on Goodreads, but it's more of historical fiction. Then we have You by Caroline Kepnes, which is a thriller. And then Fortuna by, is it Kristen Meredith? Is that her name? But it is a sci-fi novel, the first in a trilogy. So what has been your favorite sequel of the first half of the year? So I haven't read that many sequels, so I'm just going to go with Goblet of Fire. And yeah, it's a good book. And I am very much enjoying Order of the Phoenix. So Order of the Phoenix may top that, but this is talking about books that I finished in the first half of the year, and that was Goblet of Fire. So is there a new release that you haven't read yet, but you're really excited for? So yes, there are several of them. I own 2 of them, and I don't own one of them. So the first is The Vanishing Half. I don't remember the authors of any of these books, but The Vanishing Half is a historical fiction book, and it came out, I think, last month. I got it in the book of the month last month, and at the time nobody had really been talking about it, but I thought that it would be a good book to read with everything happening with the Black Lives Matter movement, and now everybody is talking about it, so it must live up to that expectation, so I cannot wait to pick it up. So our next book is another historical fiction book, but this takes place about 100 years before that one, and that is The Conjure Women. And there may be some fantasy aspects to this. The cover looks very fantasy, but it takes place in like Civil War America, I think Virginia, but I could be wrong. And then the last one that I haven't got to yet, I saw on Goodreads and I added it to my to-read list, and it is The Last Train to Key West, and this is really about the Flagler Railroad and all that, which is in Florida. And if you've been to Florida, there are so many things named after Flagler, which I don't remember his first name, but that sounds very interesting to me since I've seen that name my whole life, to read a book about it. So what is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? I don't really keep up with new releases, but just from going through Goodreads, I think The Mall sounds really good, which is, it takes place in the early 90s in New Jersey. I guess it's about a bunch of mall rats, and before COVID, I was a mall rat, so that sounds exciting. And early 90s and in the New York City area, New York metro area, sounds good to me. And Memoria, which is the sequel to Fortuna. So what is your biggest disappointment so far? For me, it was Severance by Ling Ma. It is a sci-fi novel, kind of satire. The writing style is just very weird, and I was really looking forward into going to that one because it had a beautiful cover, but don't judge a book by its cover. And I had heard positive things from BookTube, but just reading the book itself, I did not enjoy it that much. So what is your biggest surprise so far? For me, that was A Lesson in Thorns, which, is this a surprise or not? I haven't really enjoyed romance books in the past, but I enjoyed this one so much. The writing style was so beautiful, and I just really, really enjoyed it. So our next question is, who is your favorite new to you or debut author? For me, that is Simone St. James. She wrote The Sundown Motel, which was a thriller, horror, paranormal novel, and I really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to get some of her other books. I actually got one in the mail today. So let's see. Who is your favorite fictional crush from this year? Again, I don't really get fictional crushes. I've talked about that in videos in the past, but I'm just going to choose Saint from Lesson and Thorns. I felt like he was just really chill, and for me, I want a guy who's chill and not hyper and crazy. And I felt like he was just the chill one out of that book. So who is your new favorite character? For me, that is Sheba from South of Brawler, because she's like my dream of like who I'd want to be, like a sex symbol of the 70s, you know. So number 10 is a book that made you cry. No books have made me cry. They don't make me emotional that much. So a book that made you happy, for me, that was, I'm gonna go with The Downstairs Girl. I just felt like that book, so much happened, and in the end it had a good ending, and for that time period, for those kind of characters, and there was just so much representation in that book and everything, and it taking place in Georgia, so I was very, very familiar with all the locations mentioned in the book. It just made me happy. So what is the next one? Your favorite book to movie or TV show that you've seen so far? I haven't read the book, and I've only seen some of the TV show, but Outlander, I think that lives up. That is going to be my next Game of Thrones, where I'm gonna love it so much. So our next question, what is your favorite post that you've written so far this year? So like a review is my Pride and Prejudice review that I wrote last month. And then, what is the most beautiful book that you have bought? Inland, I don't remember the name, but you're seeing a picture. I don't remember the author's name, but you'll be seeing a picture on the screen right now. I just really love the colors and everything of this cover. So what books do you want to read before the end of the year? All the ones I own, which obviously I'm not going to get to all the ones I own, but I just want to read as many books as I possibly can. Now we are going to be opening the book this is from Macmillan / Universal Wild from Norwood, Massachusetts. I am so excited. Okay. Yeah, I don't know there's going to be a note and all, but this is Blacktop Wasteland by S.A. Cosby. So it takes place in North Carolina. So a husband, a father, a son, a business owner, and the best getaway driver east of the Mississippi. So that just sounds so cool. He is known from the hills of North Carolina to the beaches of Florida. He's the best wheelman on the East Coast, so that sounds really cool. And this is an ARC. This is my first ever ARC. I don't know how I feel about ARC, so I hope that it lives up to my expectations. So congrats from Flatiron Books, reiterate review. They did leave me a note thing. So thank you for your interest in Blacktop Wasteland. Like Ocean 11 meets Drive, Blacktop Wasteland is a searing operatic story of sons living up to their fathers, of a heist gone sideways, of a man ground down by economic desperation, of fast cars and daring chases and identity and love. It's already receiving tremendous early praise. So we have praise from Walter Mosley, the best-selling author of Trouble Is What I Do, the Boston Globe, Dennis Lehane, the best-selling author of Since We Fell and Mystic River, and Lee Child, the best-selling author of Blue Moon. So it says, if you love Blacktop Wasteland as much as we do, we'd appreciate your help getting the word out about this important book. If you post on social media, please tag the author on Instagram at LeoKing8473 and us at Flatiron_books. And the author is on Twitter at BlackLionKing73 and us at Flatiron Books. We're both will both be resharing our favorite post. Many thanks and happy reading. So thank you, Samantha at Flatiron Books in New York City. I cannot wait to read this. This is my first ARC ever, and it seems really interesting, being about heists and getaways and being on the East Coast, especially for somebody like me who's lived on the East Coast their whole life. And I really love this cover. I think the colors go well together, and just the cars and all, because I do love cars. So I am so thankful for Goodreads and Flatiron Books to be able to have this book in my hands, to have an ARC, my first ever ARC. This is a big deal. So thanks to them again. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you next week with new videos. Bye guys! Bonus if you stay till the very end of this video. So it is July, my birth month. My birthday is July 29th, and I was born in the year of 1999, the turn of the century, the turn of the millennia. But my Amazon wish list is linked down below in the pinned comment if you guys would like to buy me something. I will be doing a birthday haul at the very end of the month, so if you get me something, it will be featured in that video and you'll get a shout out. But do not feel obligated to buy me anything, because I'm just so thankful for you to be here watching my videos, being subscribed to my channel. And I love you all. Bye guys!